Hi Jim, we started the league season last weekend at Dumbarton. We're back at home again. It's a derby against St Mirren. What's the thoughts heading into that? There must be a lot of anticipation about the place with the derby coming up.
Yeah, it's always a game you look forward to. I think even more more so this year. We've lost a couple of big clubs in terms of them moving out of the league, like Rangers a couple of seasons ago, and then Hibs, and they bring big support, which creates atmosphere. So the derby match is the match that really does create that football and atmosphere, a good crowds, and as I say, to a bit of publicity leading up to the game and all these kind of things. And these are the things that generate an interest in supporters and in players. So players really look forward to this game, as I said. And St Mirren have got huge expectations this year. They're one of the favourites, I think, to try and get promotion. So I think it's always good to get in these games as underdogs, and hopefully the players will respond to it.
Speaking before, you were saying that these games sort of take care of themselves. You don't have to psych the players up, you don't have to really talk to them about concentration. These things take care of themselves in a derby because of the occasion.
Well, you still emphasise it, but you know that the players are looking forward to it as well. And as I say, because of the crowd and the atmosphere, that helps. When it's a bit more sparse, and perhaps if the onus is on you to take the game to the opposition all the time, then sometimes players, the concentration can naturally drop at times. But in these type of games, then they're fired up for it, so they know that it's important. They know there's an extra degree of importance to the supporters, and as I say, that should insist that their concentration stays spot on. But you need a lot of things in derby matches, to make sure you win the game. You need to play at your very best. Your work ethic has to be the maximum, and also sometimes in these games you need a share of good fortune. But overall, I say that it's always games that, as I said, the players thrive on.
You said something interesting to me the other day we were talking. You said someone who's not from the area, you didn't appreciate what the Renfrewshire derby meant until you played in it. Is that right? Yeah,
of course. I mean, when you're not brought up a Morton fan or a St Mirren fan, then you're not quite, you don't quite understand the rivalry until you walk through the doors at Capello, and then when the first game comes up, and the whole build up to the game, and people talking about it, and saying you have to get a result this week, you have to make sure you win, and of course we understand that can be the case in most weeks, but in a derby match there's definitely more focus on that, and the players become aware of it again, whether they're local or not. They certainly become aware of it. So someone like myself, it's fantastic, that football and rivalry, and it is a proper derby, and when the match starts, that intensity is there for everyone to see.
Obviously last season you won 3-1 in one of the games. A lot of the players are still here, they've tasted how it feels to win the game. Is that important, do you think?
Yeah, well, again, as I've said to you, you can reflect on certain aspects, whether good performances or not so good, but I think that you know that if you play at your very best, if the tempo's right, if you keep the opposition in the back foot, then there's every chance you can win it. If you switch off at times, we switched off in other games and maybe lost goals and points that we could have maybe have done a bit better in. But over the last couple of years that we've both been in the same league, I think the vast majority of the time we've competed well.
Last week you drew 0-0 with Dumbarton, another clean sheet. Is that something to build on as well? It's 3 clean sheets in 5 competitive games so far. Is that something
I think it's something that it probably wasn't the one area the team that I thought would be as solid, because we've had so many injuries to central defenders, and we've had to put boys in that were very inexperienced and not even natural defenders, and Conor McManus with Jack Iredale in one of the games. Darren Barr, who's a player coach. So we've had to use all these guys, but they've all done really well, and that's also important to show that commitment to the team. But you need all aspects of your team to do well. You need to be solid in the bag, creative in midfield, and be a threat up front. And as I said, in some of the games we've had most of it, and in other games we've had certain areas, but still very, very early. As you say, one game away to Dumbarton, a 0-0 result's not the worst result in the world. It's a difficult place to go. They'll definitely take a lot of points this year from teams. So, in the opening game of the season, I wasn't too disappointed with it.
touched on it. There's players coming back. Gary Harkins is back from suspension. Tom's aware Gary Oliver potentially making the squad. Can you give us a wee update on the?
Yeah, you're right. Well, Gary Harkins is back available, and Gary Oliver and Thomas Alwell have been training now for the last couple of weeks. And well, with Thomas he hasn't any games at all. We haven't managed to get closed door games in because of the Betfred Cup and things like that. And obviously next week we play Livingston the Tuesday night as well. So it's hard to get the games in for him. But he's now back fit and just games. He just needs games. Gary Oliver, as we mentioned, did lost a lot of weight and a lot of strength. But again, he's back, training, and it's good to have these players available again. Terrific players for us, and great options. So they'll be in the squad for Saturday, even though they're not maybe 100% match fit. They're certainly good enough and healthy enough to be in the squad.
Just Darren Barr and Lee O'Day that will be out. Any other updates?
No, everyone else is okay. So we're not too bad just now. We're getting there. We're getting healthier. We're getting, as I said to you, stronger in terms of the options available to us. But we know that on Saturday, everyone's got to be at their very best to try and get all 3 points, which would be an important victory. Not just essentially 3 points, but psychologically, it just gives the players confidence and gives the fans belief.
Excellent, Jim. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck on Saturday in the derby.
Thanks very much.